Hello, everyone. Hal Levey at PYMNTS.com. Once again, David Feuer, CPO of Galileo Financial Technologies, is with me. We're discussing wire transfers, money movement, speed, accuracy, all the good things that come. We're also going to talk about FedNow, and we're going to jump right in. So nice to have you again.
Thanks. Great to be here, Hal.
Let's start with FedNow. All the rage, a year old, lots of headlines, lots of buzz, lots of discussion about what's going well, where there's room for improvement, and yet, from your point of view, what about FedNow? Why aren't you, specifically your firm, why are you starting there? What is going on to make your approach to secure money movement, faster money movement, a little bit different?
Sure. So FedNow is awesome, right? It brings the real-time nature and like 365-day availability of APIs, and it uses that to modernize our decades-old ACH infrastructure, which is largely based on file transfer, right? So that's awesome. And in fact, that's where we started. But part of every product we develop here at Galileo is talking to our customers and prospects and really kind of taking the temperature of the market and sort of seeing where our clients and prospects are. And what we found was actually the market is not yet ready. Like when we're talking to clients, we found that they weren't ready. The customers weren't familiar with it. There were questions around how to utilize it, how to position it, how to market it. And so while there's no question that FedNow is the future, Wires has like the most coverage and familiarity, so we're starting there. We're committed to becoming a full service partner for FedNow, and you can find us in the FedNow Explorer. But based on what we're seeing, that's going to be a 2025 roadmap item for us.
So with that point that wires are familiar to a large swath of the market, no matter where you look, familiarity breeds comfort. But let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing there. With wire transfer specifically, why are they proving to be sticky? I want to divide the audience for that into two buckets. One is consumer, the other is commercial use cases. And I'm going to want you to give me some examples of each, why they're sticky, why they're useful, and why they might be the payment modality of choice versus other ones.
Sure. So I guess the most common consumer use case that we're all familiar with is buying a home, right? So for your down payment for a home, it's usually quite a bit of money, and being able to transfer that money in a way that's fairly instant, so that the counterparty can immediately see that the money is there and available, so that the transaction can take place, is key to purchasing a home. And so, as part of most real estate transactions, we see a wire where the down payment is actually transferred, and that's something that can be recognized by the bank nearly immediately, and therefore the rest of the real estate transaction can go through. So on the consumer side, we're all familiar with it from the mortgage world. Of course, there's other reasons to use wires. Recently, I had a challenge transferring money into a retirement account, and so I had to do that using wires because ACH wasn't available. And this was a between two very well-known banks. So wires is very reliable for larger transactions where, let's say, ACH is more attuned to transactions that don't have to happen in real time, can take a little bit of time, and let's say aren't necessarily as large. The second one I think that's really important on the commercial side is that because of the speed, security, reliability, and of course we talked about already the wide reach of wires, there's like these large mission critical transactions for vendor payments, supplier payments, and the assurance of a same day secure transfer is crucial so that there's not this risk window where, for instance, a supplier has shipped product, but the payment for that product is sort of in jeopardy or can be recalled, which is the case in the world of ACH, where, for instance, a payment may have posted but not yet settled. And so Wires really brings that to commercial payments as well. And so we're seeing a bevy of use cases across both consumer and commercial, and of course with both deposits and lending, where Wires is proving to be this really important sticky use case or sticky enabler of use cases for those segments.
With that stickiness, I wonder if we might discuss, because you've been discussing in some respects larger transactions, right? And we want those, just like anything, but to be safe, and we want to make sure money gets where it's supposed to go. Is there a dollar, I'm going to say threshold, where you start to see, oh, well, I want that speed, I want that security. This is a psychological threshold that we want their transaction to shift over to wires.
Yeah, so I'm sure there is. I really actually don't know if there's a specific dollar amount because a lot of this is psychological, right? I'm sure the dollar amount is higher in the commercial world where higher dollar value payments are much more common